Hey, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today, I'm trying my hardest and playing some mono white humans in Historic, trying to rank up, trying to reach Mythic. Why not? Well, the reason I'm playing this deck today is because this morning I woke up and I saw a bunch of posts on Twitter talking about the best decks in Historic. I guess a lot of the pros are getting ready for this weekend's Arena Open. I don't participate in that myself, so I don't really know much about it, but that always brings out a whole bunch of deck lists. And this one happened to catch my eye this morning. This is a tier list by Kowalski, and well, of course, it doesn't come as much of a surprise. Tier S, he puts Jeskai Control. Yeah. But the thing that did catch my eye was in the tier 1, very good choices, Mono White Humans. Now, Mono White Humans is a deck that I definitely tried a few weeks ago when Historic Horizons first came out, but I didn't really have much success with it. I don't know if that was just me not giving it enough time. I didn't have a tuned enough list. Maybe the meta was a little bit weird at that time. I don't know what the situation was. Anyways, I saw this list and I thought, okay, something looks really nice in this one. It's playing a lot of the cards I want to be playing, and it just looks super tight. So I had to give it a shot. And after this morning, playing around with it for a bunch of games, gotta say, it feels really, really good. So let's talk about some of the cards in this list. We're not gonna talk about everything because a lot of it is pretty basic. Start with the lands. I think that's the most important thing. We are playing mono white humans, and the reason for playing mono white humans is this card right here, Faceless Haven. You really got to be playing it, and if you can cut another color so that we can go all snow-covered plains, it's just going to be the best choice to put in the deck. It's really great after a board wipe. It's great as just an additional attacker. We all know Faceless Haven's a crazy card. So playing 4 copies of Faceless Haven, that's fantastic. We're also playing 4 copies of Ranger Captain of Eos, and this card is actually doing quite a bit in the format right now. So first of all, it's a 3/3 for 3. And then when it enters the battlefield, it gives us access to all of our 1-drops over here. Now, these 1-drops are not super exciting. However, they do have a lot of flexibility. So if we need a little bit of protection, we can grab the Dauntless Bodyguard, especially if we're casting the Ranger when we have 4 mana. We cast it out for 3, and then we can follow it up with a Bodyguard to give the 3/3 protection. Not too bad against somebody who's preparing a Wrath of God, for example. Maybe we need a little bit of card draw. As for Sentinel, yeah, you could go and grab that. However, I would prefer to have my Esper Sentinel on turn 1, of course. I think playing an Esper Sentinel out on turn 4, turn 5, probably not going to be that exciting. So I think this is the card I'm going to be grabbing the least often with the Captain. Maybe we need a little bit of removal. We can go and we can grab the Giant Killer. Of course, it's a 1 CMC 1/2 that has a great tap ability. Get back to that in a second. But more importantly, it has an adventure tagged onto it for 3 instant speed ability that destroys a creature of power 4 or greater. This could come up huge in some situations, and being able to tutor it out of our deck is going to be great. And then trusty old Thraben Inspector. I love this card so much. I have so many fond memories of this card, and I'm really glad that it has a 4 of in this deck. We can go get the Thraben Inspector, make a clue, draw a card. Hey, pretty neat. Of course, we're also playing Spellbinder for a little bit of disruption, Thalia for more disruption. There are tons of decks that we need to slow down. Lots of decks playing non-creature spells, and that's going to be what these decks or these cards need to fight against. Thalia, a little bit lukewarm for me when it comes to fighting against something like Gruul aggro or some other creature-based strategies, mostly because the creature-based strategies that are in the format that are doing okay seem to be the ones that are just like making massive creatures. Either it's mono green stompy that's inherently huge, or it's going to be something like merfolk or elves that just pump up their creatures a ton. I've seen hardened scales decks doing okay, and their creatures get out of control really quickly. So I think Thalia is a very easy cut in those matchups. You bring in something like the Portable Holes, the Skyclave Apparitions, instead of the Thalia Guardian of Thraben. And then the other cards are all going to work toward pumping up our creatures. Thalia's Lieutenant, a full 4 of. I'm very happy to see that. I have seen lots of decks either cutting their lieutenants down to 2 or cutting the lieutenant entirely. And that makes me sad because I actually really like this card. I want to see it succeed. So far, it's been okay in my testing, unfortunately. Still, I'm pulling for the old Thalia's Lieutenant. I want it to do well. Over in the sideboard, we have some removal with Portable Hole. We have additional removal with Skyclave Apparition, playing 4 Skyclave Apparitions in the sideboard. Actually, this morning I also saw a thread that was asking, why has Skyclave Apparition been moved to the sideboard? And the general answer is Jeskai has too much of a appearance rate in the format, and it's not a very good card in that matchup. So you got to move it over to the sideboard, bring it in against the Gruul aggro matchups and so forth, and just leave it over there for the control matchups. We have Containment Priest that can come in against these pesky Indomitable Creativity decks, so we can stop these Sarah's Emissaries from entering the battlefield. Also, not a bad card against Collected Company decks. I got blown out by that earlier this week when I was testing a different deck. And then Redain also for control matchups. A couple of copies of Ajani, more for control matchups. I think it's -2 is going to be a really good thing to just be able to bring back maybe a Thalia or a Luminarch to the field and hopefully keep putting pressure on the opponent in those situations. Archon of Emeria, really good against Tibalt's Trickery, of course. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention the other good points about Ranger Captain of Eos. It has a second ability that is also really good against Tibalt's Trickery decks. You can sacrifice your Captain of Eos, and your opponents can't cast non-creature spells this turn. So your opponents go to Cascade into a Throes of Chaos, and you pop your Ranger Captain of Eos if you have it on the field. And while they'll Cascade into Tibalt's Trickery, but they won't be able to play the Tibalt's Trickery, therefore kind of cutting them off from doing ridiculous things. That being said, on the next turn, they're probably going to be able to retrace that Throes of Chaos, so you know, you got to kill them quickly. Ranger Captain of Eos does so many cool things. It's just great. It also protects us against board wipes if we do it preemptively when we're expecting a board wipe on the opponent's upkeep, maybe. And then the last card that I want to talk about was the Apostle of Purifying Light. This is just really good against mono black vampires or mono black aggro. Both decks are definitely hanging out in the format, and you're going to run into them. Well, that's a deck. I actually think I talked about everything, and I'm pretty sure I said I wasn't going to talk about every card. But you know what? Every card has a slight purpose, and that's why I really like this deck. I hope it does well. I'm going to keep grinding with it this weekend, and, well, I'm going to run through a couple of games right now. So let's jump into those games and see how they go. See you over there. All right. Humans in Historic. Mono white flavor. Be good. Also spent the morning messing around with my green screen. Hopefully it looks a little bit better now. Still have to figure out the positioning and maybe some other things, but I also got like, oh, I see what that is. I gotta fix that right now. Look at that. Whoop. I'll get rid of that little peeking green screen there. All right, you know what? Let's just put out the Dauntless Bodyguard. Dauntless Bodyguard, it would be nice to be putting it out afterwards, but putting it as a 2-1, especially since we're always against Jeskai control, it's not such a big deal. We can get Thalia out. Now we have 4 power on the board to be attacking them with, and, you know, all of their spells cost a bajillion more, so they're never going to be able to do anything. Yeah. Okay, comes in tap. That means they don't have, or they can't cast Lightning Helix. I'm going to put the +1/+1 on the Dauntless Bodyguard just because if they do have a Lightning Helix, it's going on the Thalia next turn. So just kind of make sure it's over there. And really need a land so I can get out one of these Elite Spellbinders, take a look at their hand, and get rid of that. Where is it? It's going to be right here. Wrath of God, I think. Oh, okay. You know what? We're looking all right. We're looking okay. I did forget to mention that this deck is also playing a handful of equipment cards. Got a couple of Shadow Spears, and then also... Well, I'll put that out. A couple of Shadow Spears, or just one Shadow Spear, and then a couple of the... What is it called? Maul of the Skyclave. Okay, so if they do have an Anger of the Gods, which is very possible with a 4th land, we are dead. But, you know, it's not looking too bad. Lightning Helix kind of sucks too. They go up to 9. They probably... I don't know if they hit the Luminarch or the Thalia at this point. But Thalia, doing work. I'd hit the Thalia. Okay, Luminarch. So, there's the old Helix. It would be really nice to be able to get this Spellbinder onto the field. Okay. I think that's what I gotta do. I could have equipped the Shadow Spear, but I think I'd rather take a look at their hand. Although, I could put out the Ranger Captain and sacrifice it and basically cut them off. What card would be bad at that point, then? It would have to be a Shark Typhoon. And they can Shark Typhoon X3. I'm gonna go with the Ranger Captain because it stops all bad things that they might have. Let's get a Dauntless Bodyguard. See if we can just cut them off. It'd be great. They might have double Wrath of Gods or something, and still they could have Prismari Commands. Could have more. They could have so many cards. Is it better to equip the Shadow Spear? I think so. Oh no, I always do that. Oh, that's such a big blunder. I always misclick that and do the remove. Feels like another Lightning Helix to me. Feel like an idiot. I hate doing that. Oh, it is a Shark Typhoon. Wow. Alright. So Shark Typhoon on the Dauntless Bodyguard. And we get in down to 1, so... I mean, there's a chance, right? Of course they could just have a Wrath of God. Bye-bye board. But we can go Thalia, Dauntless Bodyguard. Could you imagine if I didn't make that mistake with the +1 there? Or the permanence lose things? Could have had the other Dauntless Bodyguard on Thalia, given her hexproof. Although it wouldn't have worked out. Or not hexproof, indestructible. Because... No, it would have worked. They would have just blocked the one that had indestructible, forcing me to sack it. So yeah, maybe it wouldn't have worked out. Maybe this actually works better. Maybe I dummied my way into a better strategy. It doesn't matter. It's Saturday. I'm having fun. I don't have to work today. Just relax. Get to beat up on Jeskai, because you know I'm going to face Jeskai in game 1. It always happens. So, is this... I think this is just like normal Jeskai. We'll bring in Redain. We'll bring in a couple of Johnnies. I think I'll get rid of one Skyclave. And I'm not super hot on Shadow Spear in this matchup. And maybe one Giant Killer. Try something like that. One thing I've kind of come to realize is I don't want to cut all of any one drop because of the Ranger Captain of Eos. It's always good to just keep at least one Esper Sentinel, one Thraben Inspector in the deck if those are the cards that I'm cutting. Just so you have more choices when you go to fetch. At least that's what my experience has been this morning. Something to think about. I don't know if I'll change on that note, but so far it has been working okay. It's not great, but those Faceless Havens are great, and Thalia is great, so I think I actually do keep it. Okay. Yeah. Stone-covered plains, not bad. Still, I don't know what I want to do next turn. I'm definitely going to swing in before I do anything. Interesting. Very interesting. So am I waiting until next turn so I can do Thalia plus Dauntless, and then, or Thalia's Lieutenant plus Dauntless, or am I just going to put out like a Thalia's Lieutenant, lay him to the slaughter, and hope it works out? I think I'm okay doing that. Okay. Maybe it's double Dauntless. I don't know. Dauntless Bodyguard, not exactly good against portable holes. Actually, I sent my friend a picture just 2 hours ago or so of a game against Jeskai Control that I had. And in that game, I faced... I think the opponent had 3 portable holes, 3 memory lapses, the Wrath of God. They just had the whole everything. Whole kit and caboodle, as it is. I'm going to give protection to Thalia's Lieutenant, because I think in the end, this is the card that's probably going to get the most damage in, and then I have Faceless Haven to maybe end the game. Kind of where my head's going. Okay, so is this a Shark Typhoon? This looks like a Shark Typhoon situation to me. Which case, I think it's going to be Thalia's Lieutenant plus Dauntless Bodyguard. They don't have Settle the Wreckage mana. Okay. They are afraid of my Lieutenant. So that means they probably have a Wrath of God, which means if they do have the second white mana, they try to wrap the board, we can protect the Thalia's Lieutenant and have a Faceless Haven to attack in for lethal. So Wrath of God doesn't get them out of this. Wow, what a performance. Even stumbling through some weird little things there. That's great. Love starting off really well. Let's go to the next one. All right, match 2. Hopefully it goes as smoothly and quickly as that first one did. All right, opening hand looks pretty great. I will keep this. So, Tibalt's Trickery incoming is my prediction. Since that's possibly the case, do I want to go with the higher damage Dauntless Bodyguard first? I think I do. Maybe my read is very wrong and they just had a hard mulligan. Maybe I'm 100% right. Thalia is going to be good, and Ranger is going to be good. Let's get Thalia out first. Okay. So Tibalt's Trickery, the thing that you have to keep in mind, if this is what it is, Throes of Chaos. Oh, Blast Zone. What a good card against us. Wow, that Blast Zone threw me right off. We'll still get this out. The Throes of Trickery deck goes off on turn, usually turn, let's get this, turn 4, if they don't have any ramp. But a lot of the decks are playing Magma Opus, because why not? And that allows them to cycle it on turn 2, turn 3 they can then throws, and then turn 4 they can throws again. So they are going after my Thalia, probably. Which means we have time to beat them down. I'd rather not put out a 2-drop, so I think I'll probably end up leaning in favor. Oh my goodness. Double Blast Zones. Okay. That makes things a little annoying, but I'm going to put out the Dauntless Bodyguard and see what they do. I think they'll probably pop the 2. It also sets them back on mana, though. Yeah, they pop the 2. So then I can put this Dauntless this on this Dauntless Bodyguard. So at least something's protected. And then I may as well put out ranks on human. And yeah, you know what? Let's get out of Thraben. If they want to spend their turn blowing up another Blast Zone to get rid of two 1-drops, I'm super cool with that, especially considering they're dead on board next turn. Yeah, so a little bit of a hard time for the opponent, but I think I'm okay. Anger of the Gods would kind of suck here. Actually, it wouldn't be that bad, because I could still sacrifice this. That stays alive. Huh. Yeah. Looking good, looking good. So they could try to do their Tibalt's Trickery here, but the Ranger stops it. Yeah, that's fine. Wait. I'm super happy I get to showcase this, and I'm super happy I was right. Oh no. Oh no, what happened? Oops. Well, I think our opponent just learned about Ranger Captain of Eos and how awesome it is. Okay, Archon of Emeria comes in. That's the best card. And Redain is also very good against throws because it stops it. I think Maul the Skyclave is going to be too slow for the most part. You know what? The equipment is just not necessary. I'm just going to take it all out. Giant Killer could be good if they hit Sarah's Emissary. All right, let's see if we can do the same thing. If you ever see somebody mulliganing aggressively, it's a pretty good indicator of what they're actually on. Oh man, this hand would almost be good. Okay. Captain is worth a lot, so I think this hand's definitely worth keeping it. I got to get lucky and find the third land, obviously, but maybe we make something work here. There you go. Kind of wish I hit a 1-drop and then the land, but I guess I shouldn't be too greedy. Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say we might be dead because they could have cycled a Magma Opus there and then turned 3 throws. But now I'm going to wonder if I should go with the Elite Spellbinder or the Ranger. And I think it's probably the Elite Spellbinder. So this is a little bit of a uniquer take on the Trickery deck, I think. Yeah, let's go out with the Spellbinder. Huh. Huh. Okay. Let's get rid of the Shark Typhoon. Because they can't cycle it, and now they have, sure, this Inferno of the Star Mounts. I don't like that name. But we can always go and get a Giant Killer with the Ranger Captain, and then pop it. That pop was probably pretty loud. Oops. So they're probably going to spend their turn pumping up the Blast Zone, which makes me wonder if I should just get in with the Faceless Haven. Actually, you know what? It's probably just Captain. Yeah. I want to get the Giant Killer now. And you know what? I may as well put out the Thraben Inspector. I think just load up the board, pump up this Thalia. They're going to be incentivized to put this on probably 2. They might go up to 3, though. Now, with that Ranger. Still, getting in for 7. If they're going to use this turn to pump it up and then another turn to pop the Blast Zone, that's not a very good position for them to be in. And if they don't do something huge this turn, or next turn, Thalia could be lethal. And then Faceless Haven to finish them off. Yeah, this feels really great. Happy with this. This is all working out. They got to go on 3 now, I think. Yeah. Which is... Oh, no. I should have set a stop there so I could have done that, but it's fine. Oh. What a neat card. So we're going to lose these. That's fine. I guess it's just Rally plus Thalia and swing. Could. It's another 3 damage. 3. I think I'm a little short. Yeah, I'm 1 short. But like I said, I have the backup Faceless Haven. Okay. And if their plan is just to put out the dragon, that's not good enough. They really need a throws here, and they need, like, it needs to hit really big. Yeah. Awesome. So a little bit of a closer game, but I don't see how I lose it here. Yeah. 2-0 with the humans. Keep it going. Let's climb. Gotta get up into Mythic so I can start playing sillier decks. Next one. All right, match 3. Game 3. Match 3? Match 3. I always mix them up. I wonder if I'm going to run the whole gamut of like historic all-star decks. We got Jeskai Creativity, Tibalt's Trickery. This should be Jeskai Control, then Tibalt's Trickery. This one should be Jeskai Creativity. What else would be another all-star? Maybe Gruul. I think Gruul is still very well positioned. Gruul aggro. Just people aren't giving it the amount of respect that it probably deserves. Hand looks okay. You know what that means, right? It's Jeskai. All day, every day. Mr. Giraffe, who I mentioned in the zombie video, he said he doesn't run into Jeskai the way I run into Jeskai. I constantly queue into it, and I don't know why, but yeah. So, speaking of Memory Lapse, I can't remember if I've talked about it before or not. What are your opinions on Memory Lapse? It's a card I have been seeing a lot of talk about lately. I'm going to go Elite Spellminer. And it seems to be one of the cards that a lot of people are calling for a ban of. And I tend to agree a little bit. It's such an obnoxious card to play against. It, if I didn't have that second land there, or third land there, it would have totally shut down my whole game plan, allowing them to keep playing out lands and preventing me from drawing impactful cards. It's essentially a time walk. It's one person had said. It's essentially a time walk, and I can see that logic for sure. Really wish I drew a land. I think I'm just going to go with the captain. And the fact that they can do it on turn 2 for 1 blue, it's very, it's not a very limiting mana requirement, not like Archmage's Charm. It's a little bit too good for the format. That is for certain. Well, they keep missing their lands, and so do I. What are the chances they're sandbagging a board wipe, an Anger of the Gods? Or maybe just a Wrath of God. Maybe I'm playing into a Wrath of God, they just haven't hit the 4th land. But they need to hit a white source or a red source. So I think it's worth taking the risk here. Oh yay, Memory Lapse. This is fun, right? Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. How to make friends in Magic the Gathering. So yeah, I'm kind of getting stuck here now. If they have another Memory Lapse, essentially I'm doing nothing. See if they have nothing. Might be another charm that'll draw 2. It is a Shark Typhoon. Okay. My big problem with these Jeskai control decks is that they just take to fairy time. They take forever to play against. Just the games just drag and drag and drag. Let's take it back. That is an interesting choice. I think I'm going to put it on the Thraben Inspector. Oh, no. I was supposed to put it on the Lieutenant. I made a mistake there. That's for sure. So now do I have to... No, I have to go after Teferi. Yeah, that was a big blunder. I knew in my head, I was thinking, I'm going to make a 3, a 2-3 and a 3-3, and I'll be able to attack at Teferi, and it'll definitely die, and I won't lose anything. That was how I was thinking it in my head, and I just made a blunder. I could have also played out Thraben Inspector. Big mistake. So do I throw away my Thalia's Lieutenant to take the punishment for my mistake? Maybe. Wow. There were a lot of things I could have done there, and I did the literal worst. um, I gotta get rid of this Teferi, though. I don't think I have a choice. I have to get rid of it. I have to suck it up and just... Oops. I'm gonna hold on to the Thraben Inspector. Mostly out of shame. I don't want to play it, and it's so obvious I could have saved my Thalia's Lieutenant. You know, so you're talking sometimes, and things happen. So that's a cool card. What does that actually mean, though? It means, I think I do this. I put out the Ranger Captain. I set a stop. Get a Dauntless Bodyguard. Put this on the Thraben Inspector. Attack for 5. And sacrifice my Ranger Captain on their upkeep so they can't play out this Chandra. Or any kind of board wipe. And now they kind of need Shark Typhoon, although I do have the Giant Killer for the Shark Typhoon if they make one that's 4/4. Lightning Helix would maybe be the worst for me. Narset's fine, they can't cast it. Maybe they just put Kira. Ranger Captain of Eos is just such a monster. Even when you play horribly and just throw away Thalia's lieutenants, Ranger Captain of Eos comes in and says, hold up, I'm going to help you out. Love that guy. All right. Well, I guess we're bringing in the typical crew. I think this is just Jeskai control again. It's not the creativity. So, a Johnny, Redane. The equipment seems iffy to me. Yeah. It's going to really suck if we draw some equipment and they've just drawn a whole bunch of Lightning Helixes. All right. Yeah, as far as opening hands go, that one is pretty keepable. Esper Sentinel on turn 1 is always good. Oh my gosh. The game, somebody at Wizards just flipped my switch and they said, Matt, my name's Matt, by the way. I think that's the first time I've ever said that my name's Matt. Hey, little moment there. Yeah, someone flipped the switch and said, hey, you know what? You can have some good draws today. That sucks, though. Yeah, let's get the Faceless Haven out. We'll throw out a Thalia. Hopefully she gets in for at least a little bit of damage. Maybe she eats a removal spell, and then we can go out with the other one. You know, something like that. Lightning Helix. That's what it feels like. Oh. So I was thinking about putting out the other Thalia because I thought this one was certainly going to be dying, but yeah, I guess may as well put out a Ranger, go grab Dauntless Bodyguard, get some protection for next turn. Might be a Memory Lapse for 3. Even a Memory Lapse at 3 is pretty good. Lets it resolve. Okay, it was a Helix. So definitely sacking that blanks the 3 life that they would gain. So, yeah, that's cool. All right, Thalia, do your thing. I kind of want them to kill the Thalia, honestly. Just so I can put out my other Thalia with the Dauntless Bodyguard, but they seem determined to take that damage. They do have a memory lapse. So now it's definitely bodyguard on the Thalia. It does it automatically. Yeah. And then, next turn, Ranger. We can hit our lands, so that's good. And maybe this Faceless Haven's going to get us there at the end. No Teferi on turn 5. Oh, they can't do it on turn 5, because Thalia says Teferi go away. Okay. Maybe next turn they'll or tap out if they do have the Teferi, so then I'll go with the Faceless Haven. I don't want to do it now. It's pretty good. We'll grab another Dauntless, and I kind of want to put the Dauntless on the Ranger. Yeah. Okay. Just got to keep plugging away at them. Hopefully don't draw too many more lands. That's good news. That must be a Teferi. Oh, it's a Day Judgment. No. Okay. It's fine. Kind of expected, right? A board wipe. So that gets that. Then we can turn on the Faceless Haven. Thalia shows up again. This is an awkward bit of damage. I think we're taking them down to 5, right? Yeah, not 4. I wish it were 4. But it is what it is. You know what? Is it another upkeep Ranger sack? It's another upkeep Ranger sack, I think. That might be a little overzealous, but I want to use my Rangers. I was thinking about the Luminarch, but no, they have a Lightning Helix. Shark Typhoon. That's okay. Do they block the Haven? Block the Thalia and go down to 1. Wow, this opponent is brave. Okay. So Thalia once again out. Yeah, I should have seen that coming. I don't know why I didn't try to predict that. Expressive Iteration is desperate. But if they hit the Lightning Helix, that's the worst. It's a land. So they have 4, they can play a 3. Okay. It's a little awkward. That's still awkward. So I'm not attacking, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the Faceless Haven. Just get it up so it can go over this shark, I think. And if they can't deal with this Luminarch this turn, I can maybe attack in with both. Can they cycle the irrigated farmland from over there? I don't think so. I think cycling is only from your hand. Yeah. Pretty sure. Not great. But I gotta try. Justice Strike. Huh. Okay, opponent got me. I think I go out with the other Luminarch. I don't know. Pretty rough. They're drawing the answers they need, obviously. It'd be nice to find another Haven. Or just another piece of action. But the humans definitely, the one thing is, once their plan is disrupted, things definitely feel a little bit iffy. Oh, okay, we lose. What a card. What a card. They didn't give the shark lifelink. So definitely Clarion says choose one or both. Definitely Clarion deals 3 damage to each creature. Creatures you control gain lifelink. They didn't give it lifelink. Womp, womp. They could have gone up to 5, and then they would have certainly been safe in this game. Now, all right, I'm dead. I'm dead. Leave me alone. Just go away. Oh, ouch. All right. Maybe I lost the game when I sacked the Ranger Captain of Eos. I don't know. That's one to kind of go back and look at and see what would have happened if I hadn't sacked that. But it might be a little bit hard to figure out. Maybe, yeah. Since they can just cycle Shark Typhoons, it's not really worth it most of the time. Unless you have a massive board and they're really, really low. That was probably an overzealous sack. Okay. So Johnny might come in handy this game, especially with Thalia's Lieutenant and Luminarch possibly being in the graveyard, because, you know, they're going to die. Magic being a game of horrible, horrible death. And, yeah. Everybody dies. Poor aspirant and lieutenant. Yeah, we'll go Luminarch. Get this Esper Sentinel up a little bit big, and maybe it'll start drawing us some cards. Drawing the land there is okay for the Ajani on 3. Or 4, rather, sorry. Magic. A horrible game of attrition. Just throw out all your resources and battle away. You can really start to feel bad for these characters once you start thinking about it, at least in my case. An Anger of the Gods would be absolutely devastating, right? Well, maybe not, because I can put this on the Sentinel, it'll survive. Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's fine. Feels like a Lightning Helix for the Aspirant, maybe. But gives us a draw if that's the case. A Lightning Helix on the... Yay! We got him! But I have to imagine that was a misclick. They were certainly going to hit the Luminarch with the Lightning Helix and then the Shame Scoop. It's rare to see those. I've been there. I've done it myself several times, but I've learned to live with my mistakes. Like in the first game where I just sucked it up and threw my lieutenant into the Teferi. I knew I made a mistake. And sometimes it happens and you just got to carry on and maybe you get the win. Our opponent, however, was not having any of it, and that was a pretty bad one, because next turn, yeah, they were going to take a lot of damage. It would have been a tough recovery. I'm happy, because now we're 3-0, and I'm going to go into the last one. All right. Fourth and final game with mono-white humans. They feel good. And you know what? The games are interesting. There's a lot of little nuance to the deck. You just don't spam out all your creatures. Why? Why? Why does it have to be Jeskai? Wizards, fix your formats, please. Oh, goodness gracious. Memory lapse. Wow, it's just a repeat of our last game. Oh, I don't feel so well. Maybe, hopefully it's at least like Jeskai creativity. So at the very least, it's something different. Try to jam this Luminarch in. Wow. Now I have a big choice to make. I don't think it's much of a choice, is it? I am going to put the +1/+1 on the Dauntless Bodyguard because I want to swing in, and this might be a Shark Typhoon. for 1. I like your sleeves, though. That's pretty. Prismari command. Target player creates that. Yeah, so even if I sack, it doesn't matter. Okay. So this actually might be creativity. That's kind of what I think when I start seeing treasure generation. Which I don't think Ranger Captain does anything about creativity. I gotta see how creativity reads. We're drawing lands, and they're not Faceless Havens, unfortunately. I think it's going to be pumping up the Luminarch, attacking in. They do have 3 mana, though. And Lightning Helix. Alright. I think I want to keep this Luminarch around. The opponent seems a little annoyed with it, so we'll see. But if they do have Indomitable Creativity on... Well, we do have Giant Killers. Maybe I should have gotten a Giant Killer with the Ranger. If I am putting them on the Sarah's Emissary. Alright, well. Ask and thou shalt receive a Giant of the Killing variety. They can cycle for 3. Which means I think I just put out a Shadow Spear. And I equip the Shadow Spear onto the Luminarch. And they try to kill the Luminarch. If they have a Prismari command, that really sucks. They can hit the Shadow Spear and try to take out the Lumi. Put the +1/+1 here. And I'm not sure I want to attack in with my Ranger. I think I just want to go in with the Luminarch because I do really think a 3/3 is coming out here. Archmage's Charm, you say? That sucks. So that means they're preparing for a board wipe. Which means maybe I should sacrifice my Ranger next turn. Wow, they are guaranteeing that they get rid of this Luminarch. Interesting. I have to imagine that that's exactly what's happening here. They have a Wrath of God. Yeah. Okay. Dauntless Bodyguard. I'm going to keep the Giant Killer in hand just because I think like a giant shark is going to be a big problem for me. Or Sarah's Emissary. Stopping on my upkeep is not a good sign. Yeah, this one might be hard. They've had better answers than the last couple of opponents. I can't do anything about this. Well, the hits keep on coming, and that's a good thing. The bad thing is I don't have any more. Dauntless, all my bodyguards are dead. Oh no. Do I just grab a Thraben Inspector? The Sentinel's cool, but I don't think like they have so much mana. I don't think it's really going to be that worthwhile, and this gives me another draw later. I'm going to have the mana for it, so. Everybody's favorite, Miss Spaghetti. Which I know doesn't make any sense. If somebody's gonna hear, why is he calling that Miss Spaghetti? Because it's Narcetti Spaghetti. And again, I know that doesn't make any sense. But it doesn't matter. Narcetti Spaghetti is a pain in my backside. Oh. I'm talking about her. He gave me the opponent gave me the oops. Yeah. Okay. These long games are really they're fatiguing me. That's what's going on here. All I had to do was attack first and then do it. But I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna get a Thalia's Lieutenant, maybe pump up the team. Yeah, my mistake. Yeah, we just talked about it in the last game. I'm not gonna shame Scoop. I'm gonna keep fighting on and doing my best. That's what I'm gonna try. Oh, that's bad news. That's great news. 2-4. They're making a 4-4 shark. They don't know about my giant killers. They're not making a shark? Why did they shock that in? I understand that, but I don't think it's worth shocking in the Sacred Foundry against my deck. That seemed weird to me. Maybe they changed their mind. I can't giant kill and use the Faceless Haven, so I'm just going to go in. T-Hulk! What are they getting? Lightning Helix? Archmage's Charm. So I'm definitely killing the Gearhulk with the Giant Killer. I think I'm doing this, actually. Yeah, I don't want you to cast that. Bop, bop. You're dead. Take one. They have a board wipe. They have a board wipe. We still have Faceless Haven. And a Giant Killer in hand, so. Come on. Come on. Play your cards. No, not that card. No. Anything but Teferi. It's terrifying. We still have 3 mana open. 5 mana. Really. It might be safe to go in with the Faceless Haven. They tap their Castle Ardenvale. They can untap it, though. And make a 1-1. What? Lightning Helix and Archmage's Charm. The opponent is running on fire. Pure fire. I think I have to ignore Teferi as much as it hurts me to say that. I wonder if the game would have been any different if I had drawn that one card instead of throwing away that clue. Oh, Shark Typhoon. No. Well, maybe. It's okay. You know what? Hey, how it's stacked. How much mana do they have here? Is that 3 or 4? I don't know. I can't tell. Maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they can potentially make a 5/5. I'm going to pretend I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm going to let them Shark Typhoon for a lot. Right? Make a 4/4 or 5/5 shark, please. Yep. The opponent definitely knows that I'm kind of an idiot. So, there's a chance they're like, well, he doesn't realize that I can use my Shark Typhoon. Now, if they're super smart and they make it for a 3/3, Clap, 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 clap. But I don't think so. I think we get our opponent here. Never been so invested in a game, and I don't know why. I'm really upset about that clue, I'll be honest. And, yeah, have to make up for the atrocities Narcetti Spaghetti has caused this day. The game's easy. Easy. Yeah. We're still potentially in trouble. However, they are at 4, and we do have a Faceless Haven. You know what? They draw so many cards. Shark Typhoon's insane, isn't it? Okay. I actually can't really attack in with the Faceless Haven because it's just going to get chump blocked by the Castle Ardenvale token. So my thought process here is to put out the Giant Killer and then maybe I can tap it down. They didn't make one. That's good. I was afraid they were going to make 2 tokens. Anger of the Gods. Horrible news. We need to move quickly. Yeah. Well, the opponent was able to stabilize. I don't think there's anything I can really do or say about that. It's been fun. It's been kind of an interesting back and forth. I'm sure others will disagree. Yeah, definitely not getting in. At least I successfully learned how to use a clue. Some might say I got a clue. Just drawing really poorly, though. Well, that's all I can do. If they have a Lightning Helix for the Faceless Haven, we'll just scoop it up. Because Teferi is on 8, and they can do that. Yeah. Alright, we'll get them in games 2 and 3. Oh, Jeskai is obnoxious, isn't it? This is the kind of game I know people will watch, and they'll be annoyed with how it is. Because it's just an obnoxious deck to play against. I'm going to keep substituting out my usual things. And, yeah, try my best. Try not to throw away any clues. That's going to be the goal for this one. Jeskai. Oh, that's not good enough. That's okay. A little awkward. Kind of wish I had a 1-drop somewhere in here, obviously. I always want 1-drops. I kind of think I want to keep the Spellkeepers over the Ranger. Or maybe it's actually it's a Thalia's Lieutenant that maybe goes. And I pray that I hit my 3rd land. I think that's where I'm at. Because these cards are all just too good. Okay. Do what I can. Do what I can. So, back on the ban talk, because I think that's always fun. Well, what do you think should get out of this format to help it a little bit? Okay, it's gotta be Lightning Helix. That's a nice looking hand from the opponent. Yeah, just every single card that they have access to is so strong. I got to imagine they're going to go out with the Brazen Borrower and block here. Yeah. Which I think I'm okay with. Okay. So we get rid of those 2 pesky things and try to beat them down before they can do anything crazy. Really needed to find Faceless Haven. Always wanted Faceless Haven. Oh, is this a Lightning Helix? They draw a Lightning Helix? Shark Typhoon. I knew they had the Shark Typhoon. I should have guessed that they were going to do that. Yeah, that was my mistake. Maybe I should have put a Dauntless Bodyguard on the Spellbinder. Now I'm thinking about it. They'll be able to use Lightning Helix probably this turn. And yeah, I don't know if I'm getting out of this one. Take my Thalia. Take my Thalia. You want to. Take it. Yes. Okay. Now they can Expressive Iteration to go find... Oh. A little surprising. If you're going to give me lands, at least give me Faceless Havens, please. I think I'm going to just sack it. Okay. Sucks to put out Thalia there, because certainly they have the Lightning Helix, and if they draw a land, they can Anger of the Gods, wipe both of them away, but... Okay. Well, yeah, the first two showings against Jeskai were good, and this is kind of the situation we're drawing a lot of kind of nothing. So I think I'm gonna emote. Oh yeah, Wizards, you still haven't fixed your game yet. Give me my emotes, please. Oh, why did I have to draw the Ranger Captain Eos? It makes me think I can maybe keep playing, which is not realistic at all, because this just gets countered and then Helix. Yeah. Cool. Do I fight it out? You know what? I was going to concede. We'll see what happens. It's going to concede because a friend of mine told me I concede to her. Narset? I concede too early too often. I don't think so. Sometimes, certainly. Let's see what this is. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to go through memory lapse and all that nonsense. No. We let the Jeskai player have it. They really want to win. Which, I mean, I'm playing a tier deck too. I can't complain too much. Wrap up. All right. So as far as a mono white humans list goes, I think this is pretty good. It's got some pretty good game against the hardest matchup. We faced Jeskai 3 times in a row. Yay, Historic's fun. This is the first time I've actually faced such an abundance of Jeskai. I know I always meet at least one Jeskai deck every 4 or 5 games, but to play 3 out of 4 against the same deck is really disheartening. But that's the first time that's actually happened to me in recent memory. So in my other experiences, the format definitely feels a little bit more varied. I was running into a lot of different things. Maybe this weekend, because people are putting out like tier lists and pros are saying this is the best deck. Again, I have it right here. This right here is over there, wherever it is going to encourage at least a good number of people to start playing Jeskai Control. And it encouraged me to try out this mono white humans list. You might also see a jump in, obviously Creativity and Reanimator and those other decks, because I'm sure that's what people are grinding this Historic Open with. Maybe next week things will calm down again and Historic will start to feel a little bit better. But if Jeskai, those numbers start climbing up and it's just so abundant, I mean, Wizards they have to look at balancing things again. And I thought the idea behind Historic was that it's a digital only format, so they have the ability to go in there and make sure things are more playable. Give us ban Brainstorm. Brainstorm's gone. Ban it officially. Give us our 4 wildcards. Step 1. Step 2, take a look at Jeskai. It's way too abundant. You have Jeskai Creativity, Jeskai Control, and Jeskai. There's one more. What's the other Jeskai? There's 3 flavors of Jeskai. I don't know. There's another Jeskai, right? Is it on the list over there? Jeskai Delver. That's on there. Sure. I'm pretty sure there are 3 flavors of Jeskai that I've seen, and I'm just blanking on it right now. It's obviously too abundant. They have pushed cards at every mana cost all the way up to 6 or higher. They curve too well into Anger of the Gods, into Wrath of Gods, into Planeswalkers that just refuel them. The draw card is way too powerful, which I'm forgetting what it's called now. The dance one. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, I gotta find it now because I am gonna hate myself for not remembering. 2 CMC, where are you? There it is. Expressive Iteration. It's bonkers crazy. Put 1 card into your hand, find the perfect card that you need to play out. You're never going to miss your land drops with Expressive Creativity. There's just so much going on for Jeskai and not enough going on for other colors or other strategies. And I think it's been that way for a while. Something's got to be done. Either they got to add more cards, unban some cards to give other decks a better shot, or take a look at just taking Jeskai down a peg. I don't want Jeskai to disappear. I think people should be able to play control, and I think combo control decks should also be a thing. They just shouldn't be as dominant as they are in the format. They just need to be slightly reduced. Take a look at those supporting cards that are allowing them to get so much advantage over other decks, and balance your game. That's what it comes down to. Also, fix your game. Give me my emotes. I want to be able to send hearts to my opponents again. What's up with that? Right? Anyways, we made it to the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching this far. Take care for now, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.